Here we go, rocking and rolling. Y'all just finish up a group for the night?
Yeah,
Yep.
just finished.
Oh, nice. What's the weather looking like up there in Minnesota right about now?
I don't know, negative. Pick a
It's
number,
above
negative.
negative. It's above negative today.
Pick a single digit number. It's around there.
Tough, tough. It
5 degrees.
is 55 where I'm at right now, and I got the hoodie and the furry Crocs on because it's frigid.
I moved here from Tampa, so
Oh yeah, I'm in Bradenton right now.
okay.
Nice,
I'm sure
nice.
you guys haven't met. Forget that.
No, I'm Brian.
Brian, what's up, man? I'm Flash. Nice to meet you.
Meet you.
The internet for you.
Uh,
Oh,
I guess real quick, if you were from Tampa, what brought you up to Minnesota from Tampa?
uh, shit. So basically, I went and played football Division III at St. Lawrence University up in New York, and then started basically getting into S&C there, working with their hockey team and basketball team. And then their strength coach for hockey was a Springfield college guy. He was like, "You gotta go to Springfield." So I did one grad application, got in, sent it down to Massachusetts, and then had to do an internship. So I ended up coming out here interning at St. Thomas with Corey Peterson, and then I had met one of Nate's old interns up there, and he was like, "Yo, you got to work at Velo too."
I think you know him, Flash. Jungles, Zach Jungles.
Oh, yeah, jungles. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Small
that's one
world.
of the.
A lot of the great minds in the Minnesota area.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because we actually met out in Springfield, and then he dropped out pretty quick. But like we became boys pretty quick, and then once I came out here, it was like parties rocking and rolling.
That's what's up. Nice,
First
nice.
intern I've ever hired back.
Facts.
First
First,
intern.
what? What was it?
First intern I've ever hired back for a
Oh,
full role.
hey, there you go. Must be doing something right then. Perfect.
Great ideas
That's
today.
good.
I'm
I
really
knew you
good
were
at your
good at it.
job.
Good job.
What's the spike ball game like? Is that how you won Welty over?
Yeah.
No, actually, I was kind of trash when I came.
Not as bad as Joe.
Yeah, but then Joe got better than me.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I don't know. I'm a serve guy, so if I have serve, yeah, I mean, unless I'm missing that, you're probably giving me points.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough.
There's not
Let's get the
really
Besides,
ball
one.
rolling here. So
we can
we
never
can
beat.
go with each of you. What's a hill you're willing to die on regards to strength and conditioning, and what's something that you've changed your mind on in the last year?
Um, I was thinking about this, and I was like,
There's
gosh,
so many hills.
it's like I don't want to say I'm willing to die on any hill because we're always changing our minds. The field's always changing, but one thing I brought up was like I think we need to play a much larger role in like the return to play process, and we should be integrated into that more. Um, you talked to Jungles. I did Square One Level One, so obviously I'm sure he talked about Square One a lot on your pod. But it's just like if you have something like that, a tool you can use, and then an athlete comes in, they're like, "Oh, I can't do anything with my upper body." It's like, well, do we fully know that yet? Or that's just like one person's assessment. And then, not to disrespect like any DPTs or anything, I'm thinking about doing a DPT myself. So, um, and as far as changing my mind, shit, a million things. Like, not everyone needs to back squat, or I mean, I don't know. There's been so much change, I'd say, in like the last 2 years, especially coming out here. I had never seen people dropping bars and catching them, doing oscillations, using bands in the way that we use them, like banding cable stacks and doing drop catches. Um, so yeah, I don't think there's one thing I'd point out to say I've changed my mind on, but the field's constantly changing. So I think you should constantly reevaluate and be either changing your mind or like determining why you think the way you do.
Yeah, I guess like Brian alluded to about hill to die, I don't think there's one thing to necessarily say I'm going to stand everything like and die on that hill for. I do like what he said on the rehab process. Like there's been athletes here that we've had, and I think they say they're cleared to go right back to full sport. And then you watch them in here, I'm like, okay, you are 1,000% not ready to go back. So I think I'm gonna go on the same hill with him and just say we need to be integrated more into that return to play or return to sport, however you want to phrase it. And then something to change your mind over the last year. I think we're constantly changing, and there's things that I'll forget about and I'll come back to, right? And I think also it depends on the context of what age the athlete's at and stuff like that. Like our youth athletes we have, and even a lot of our high school athletes we have, is at least we have maybe not so much you at IMG. Um, you can be very, very general here in like everything they do. Maybe we're not dropping barbells and doing a lot of banded stuff like Cal did at Minnesota and stuff like that. But maybe it's just general strength training. Yeah, you throw in a speed circuit here and there. It looks kind of triphasic-y, but it's not as triphasic as you would see if you're on University of Minnesota with him. And then, or you get away from that and you just see improvements of just that general training and like, oh wow, this is actually helped them a lot more than maybe doing specialization. So I don't think everyone needs to go early specialization or go like individual programming. I think you don't need to go individual programming as much as you think, especially I think for that youth athlete.
Yeah, no, that's good insight. I think I feel the same way as you guys do when it comes to the return to play. There definitely is like that missing piece where it's like, injured athlete, like if they're the college setting and they have, the athletic training staff, it's like obviously, athletic trainers are gonna do their best that they can to get them back to where they feel like they're ready to go on the field. But it's always, kind of what you were saying, Brian, where it's like PT just kind of releases them and it's just like they're kind of just thrown out to the wolves there. I know that, I experienced that same kind of thing. Like when I tore my labrum had surgery, it was like I got released from the doctor and then went back to like track practice like the very next week. And it's like there was no type of, return to play like strength program or anything. So honestly, like I probably wasn't ready to go back into especially something high speed and high forces like track without, being on crutches for the last like 8 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I like bulged a disc in my low back my freshman year of college, and then COVID happened like right at the beginning of PT. So I was at home just like figuring it out on my own, and literally I had 25-pound dumbbells. That's it. I was just back there just doing like restricted range of motion RDLs, just hundreds of reps. I was like, I don't know, I got to figure out how to get this thing back to play football. Um,
Yeah.
that was like a slow process of me just figuring it out. And then obviously COVID year, we didn't have contact, which I think was huge. Otherwise, I don't know if I would have finished out.
Yeah. Why do you guys think that like there's so much disconnect between a strength staff and then more on the medical side with athletic training and PT?
I mean, there could be a lot of reasons. I think one big one is ego.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, you want to be right. At the end of the day, you want the athlete to listen to you, whether you're the strength coach, the doctor, the PT who's in the middle. Um, so like, I mean, obviously you want to think you're right. And then I think the other thing is just understanding or lack of understanding of each other's fields. And knowing like, as far as the timeline when each other should be integrated and when one should kind of like reduce their visibility.
Yeah, and I think also it's just like a lot of the communication piece is a big part too, is like because the ego is so big right on each end of whether you're the PT or doctor or whatever it is, or even strength coach, like everyone has their giant ego. They're like, I'm right. So they don't want to communicate what they're doing is another part of like where if you just all communicate what's going on with the athlete, because at the end of the day, we're trying to help the athlete back to the sport, right? We don't want them to get hurt again. We're in the sports performance realm, right? And like get them back to a place where they can perform at their sport again, because that's the end goal, right? Doesn't We all should understand that and just leave our egos at that side and communicate across all parties what's going on.
Perfect. Sorry, not to cut you off, but like I just thought of like the perfect example with square one. Like a doctor tells you, hey, you're going to need surgery on your shoulder. The PT says, hey, you need to do, you know, just like banded abductions. And and progress it from there. And then you come in here and I'm like, hey, let's do some square one. And then 10 minutes, you're lifting your shoulder up over your head and you're like, hey, I feel no pain. Well, now you go back and tell your PT and your doctor, hey, my strength coach fixed me. They're like, well, he practiced outside his scope. Now I look like an asshole. They look like assholes for telling you, hey, you need surgery. Hey, you need to do this. And the whole time you just need to sniff some air. Um, you know, you just had to change your inputs. But that's back to the whole disconnect. Like each other is not gonna understand that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that open
No, I mean,
mind.
at the end of the day, it's like, we're all in the human performance field. We all have, varying degrees of knowledge on how the human body works, but ultimately, like that's what it comes down to. I think you guys are, right where it's got to be that communication, that team atmosphere. I mean, if you're working any type of other business where you've got different departments, HR, finance, managing, if there's an objective or a goal that the team is given, everybody's doing their different part. They're constantly communicating, meetings, email updates, or even having a spreadsheet where everybody's kind of adding in what they need to do. So I think the communication, is a big part. And like you guys said, putting the ego aside and realizing, that it's not necessarily about me. It's about getting, this athlete back on the field.
Yeah.
yeah, I think just adding on to the point, I think where you're at definitely matters. Like
Yeah.
the last, or not this past summer, but the summer before at St. Thomas, like the hockey team, they have their AT in the weight room. She's seeing what's going on, and then like Corey's going over to the AT room, seeing like what guys are dealing with, and then they're constantly communicating. Here in like Velocity, we're private sector, so like in the off season, if an NHL guy has something going on, well, we're getting a call or FaceTime
Mhm.
to discuss like what their team doctor or their team PT's approach would be and like what they're doing on the side versus what we're doing with them. And so like that's a lot less communication as far as like the private sector goes versus having
Mhm.
your AT literally right down the hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Anything else to add on that before moving on?
I don't think so. No, I think we're all on the
All
same
right.
page where it
Yeah.
stands.
A little bit different of a question, but I know as technology is growing, we got products like OVR that made kind of changed the game when it comes to adding VBT and jump mats and timing gates more affordable to the everyday coach. You guys think that technology is worth it? Does it make programming easier, or does it complicate things when you factor in the price, the time to set up, and analyzing the data and everything that goes into it?
Go ahead.
I can think it depends on like what technology you're using. I think like the OVR, it's great in the sense of like the timing gates, it drives in 10, right? And it's more affordable than say other timing gates that might be a subscription company and stuff like that. But like like if we look at like force plates, like those are a really expensive piece of equipment.
Mhm.
At least from my what we've used here, I think it validates a lot of things that I've at least personally already seen and like know about said athletes. It just validates kind of what I'm seeing. Yeah, it might help nitpick a little bit of a person's programming if, or like again, that return to play like this, it can be super valuable that way. But at the end of the day, like I don't necessarily think it's gonna make all be all because some people don't have access to that. Like you or even when say that return the play athlete might go on vacation, like they're good enough to go on vacation, train on their own. They're not gonna have access to like a force plate or a growing bar or anything like that, where they can integrate that into their training.
Mhm.
So you have to be able to program outside of it without having it, right? So I don't think it should be an escape from like still being a good coach and knowing how to program. Is a big part. Is like some people just rely on the programming itself. Sorry, rely on the technology itself to dictate what's going on rather than using your coach's eye and being a good coach.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'd say it's funny because we've gone completely both ends of the
Yeah.
spectrum here. So my first summer here, I literally showed up. I was like, hey, like Nate just got force plates, and I was like, all right, let's make a dashboard and bucket everybody. So we did that, and then I mean, worked. I'd
Yeah,
say
worked really
results
well.
were fine.
Hmm.
Um,
We did bucketing on like counter movement jump. We didn't do
yeah, it was like counter movement jump and iso mid thigh pull
dipole.
we used to bucket.
We didn't
Okay.
do like profile.
Yeah,
We got
and
force plates over there in
then
Velo now.
Yep, yep. Got force plates now. We got force decks evolved. Same with our timing gates are evolved as well.
Oh, look at you
so we
guys
went down
moving on
that
that.
rabbit.
Shout out Nate.
What?
Shout out Nate.
Shout out Nate at Vault. We went down that rabbit hole. I think we might go back to it this summer, but I think the main thing for me with tech is just driving intent.
Mhm.
So, like, I mean, I'm also telling Nate don't get too caught up in the metrics all the time because he loves to look at force plate data and show it to me. Um, and
Just
then
mine. Just mine.
yeah, always zoom out. But yeah, the biggest thing for me is driving intent. So I think, dude, if you've got a jump mat and timing gates, like it could be shit timing gates, as long as they're popping up times and athletes are seeing like, hey, either I'm getting faster or like I'm beating my buddy, they're
Mhm.
gonna they're gonna keep providing those outputs. And that's like the biggest thing, especially with younger athletes. And then if
Yeah.
you don't have that, I think you just race. I mean, race to a foam roller, first person to hit it. I mean, I've been at our other location training Pee Wee up to Bantam or
Yep.
Squirt up to Bantam, so like 10 to 15 years old, and I don't have any tech. So what we do is race to a foam roller, and you'd be surprised how much joy kids get out of just slapping the foam roller as hard as they can.
It's weird because then the opposite's here.
Yeah, well, we have tech here. they've seen the
Yeah,
they've
yeah,
seen the numbers,
yeah.
so like then they
Yeah,
get
they like when
addicted.
the toys come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially today.
So I guess it's whichever you start with, that's what they'll get addicted to.
Especially today.
Yeah. No, I think you guys are right. I would make the argument for timing gates. I think that that's probably like the number one piece of technology that I would choose, especially if you're in a facility or you're somewhere where you're doing sprints, under 40 yards, where you want to try to show some data that your athletes are getting faster. And if you have multiple coaches, I know the last facility that I worked at, we only had 22 yards of turf, so most of our timing was either a 5-10-5 or a 10-yard sprint. But in a 10-yard sprint, you're looking for at times anywhere from, like a 1.5 to like a 2.2, depending upon the age range. So especially if you have different coaches that just, have different ways of starting it or stopping it, depending upon, what they see the movement is, I think that, those little numbers, I think can make a big difference when you're trying to, put the data together and show that athletes are trying to get faster. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just a speed guy and I just like the timing gates.
Mhm. I would
Yeah,
agree.
we were ranking them, and we had timing gates at 1 and VBT at 5 for whatever last was.
Yeah.
Out of based
VBT
on like what
last?
tech. Yeah, I think we had
We
what
don't
was it?
like
Timing gates, force plate, jump mat,
VBT because
VBT.
that's all we have. We don't have a 1080 here.
Yeah, if you have a 1080, you're lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a
Uh,
1080, you're a really lucky person.
but yeah, I would say timing gates number one. We have VBT, but we don't really use it.
Yeah, I mean, it all goes back to how you use it and what you want to do. But as far as like VBT, we just give them ranges. Hey, I
Yeah.
want point 0.5 to point 0.7, training different qualities. Um,
I think I use it the most for myself.
yeah, but I think you're gonna get exposure to those ranges anyways, as long as you're like giving the guys the right cues, like, hey, I want this to be explosive. It shouldn't feel
Yeah.
heavy. It shouldn't be a grind. Versus like, hey, today we're pushing strength. This should be like grindy. Like it should take you
Mhm.
3 seconds to lift that trap bar or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of piggybacking off of that, why do you guys think that like some coaches, even sports coaches as well, overcomplicate certain problems? So like an example that I see a lot of times is, you have an athlete who's slow and instead of doing the most simple thing and making them sprint more, assuming that, they're not doing any type of speed work, the coach thinks that they need to, do mobility drills, they got to change up what they're doing in the weight room instead of targeting, the problem itself.
Yeah, we talked about this one, and I was saying there's just so much out there now, and it's so easily accessible. Like you hop on Instagram, and I mean, based on what you've liked, I mean, all the videos are there. You go to your like For You page, and it's whatever you consume. So if you're just consuming like all this off the wall stuff, that's going to be your go-to. Versus like if you're just consuming guys who are like, hey, if you want to dunk, go jump every day.
Mhm.
And you'll probably be like, hey, that kind of makes sense. Like, if I want to jump higher, I should probably jump, right? Like,
How do I get rid of
so
boot
the things
pain?
that seem so simple, like, aren't simple to everybody because of just there's so much noise there. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's also like I had this similar conversation, not exactly from a sports performance realm of like even like I was having this conversation, I think with my wife. It's like simple, like basic training ideas, like, hey, we want to get faster, we should sprint more, right? That isn't like the norm to everyday population, or even like how to train athletically, right? Like stuff that the way me and Brian train ourselves isn't like the normal for like my wife or just like general pop. Like you don't,
Hmm.
but it's to us the norm, right? So it's might seem simple to us, by others, it might not be as simple, right? And like Brian alluded to, it is what there's so much on social media now compared to I think back in the day it was bigger, faster, stronger. That's all there was.
There's bodybuilding.com.
Bodybuilding.com,
Yeah,
bigger,
the
faster.
OGs.
But that's all there was. That's all people knew was bodybuilding. Right now, there's so many different ways. You got wide and narrow. You got, I guess, force dominant, elastic dominant, which a lot of it's like those two things are very similar concepts, but it's all a lot of concepts are very similar, but they're just said a different way because they all want to. Everyone wants their own thing, right? Even though they might spin it in a different way or say it a different way to say make it seem different so they can sell things. And that's another reason is like they want to overcomplicate things so they can make money. Where at the end of the day, it's not as complicated as it needs to be.
Yeah. I think that Sornex, kind of puts that into perspective, with the Squattober, Deadcember, Benchuary, you do the same movement every day for a month, your numbers are probably going to jump up. If you're trying to bench press 315, it's probably a good idea to do some more bench press.
Run 3 programs for a whole year,
That's you.
and I think I'll get better at something.
Yeah,
One thing I'm going to
exactly.
do, see if we can break 350 this year on bench is get rid of bench actually quite a bit and
Okay.
just try to get to 225 overhead press and then go
Okay.
back.
We haven't been benching lately, have
Yeah,
we?
I know.
Yeah.
But
Kind of
yeah,
like a
try and get to
conjugate approach
225
there.
overhead. What?
Kind of like a conjugate approach there.
Yeah, kind of. I know Will Rattel talked about it. He made a post about doing that. I was like, oh, that's a good idea. But I think the main thing there would just be like keeping bench press in some aspect just to like not lose the technique
Mhm.
or
Hmm.
like the skill aspect of it.
I think you're
Yeah.
onto something though about my vertical jump getting better from training more upper body. Really think you're onto something there.
Low hanging fruit.
Nice. What if you're trying to train a kid to, be a professional athlete or whatever, what's the advice to parents? You guys think early specialization or exposure to multiple sports, being that, you guys work at Velo primarily training, hockey from all ages.
You want to use
All
the
right,
quote?
yeah, I saw a Jeremy Frisch post, and
Did I pull it up?
no, it was basically if you want to be the best 14-year-old at your sport, specialize now. If you want to be like have a chance to play your sport collegiately or professionally, play as many sports as you can now, and then specialize later. So I think like that was really powerful. And yeah, we see it like,
Yeah.
I mean, you got a 12-year-old who's like, hey, my knee hurts. It's like, all right, what have you been doing? I skate twice a day. Then I come here, and then I got two skates tomorrow morning. Then we got a game. It's like, all right, well, do you think you could take some time off hockey? Oh, no, my mom just signed me up for another skate tomorrow. Like, all right, well,
Yeah, and I think even just like talking with the pro guys in the summer, it's like they'll like call out or tell me and Brian and our other interns and stuff like that. Like, yeah, like they'll call out some of the college or junior guys. Like, clearly their core, like you see it from like the coordination aspect. Like the pro guys will say he's not as coordinated because he didn't play any other sports, or like he's just doing like hockey specific stuff, right? He's not exposing himself to other variables and other facets of different sports, right? Like the coordination piece, and like I think soccer, tennis,
Yeah, I was gonna say for context,
yeah, soccer,
the
tennis.
the pros in the summer, I think their soccer tennis series, which is like we set up boxes as a net, and you have 3 touches basically to get it back over, and it has to hit the turf. The series was like 61 to 58, so they played every day, at least 3 games a day, and that is like I don't know. That's their bread and butter go-to warm up. That's their go-to cool down. If they don't want to do conditioning, that's what they're gonna do, and then they're gonna do 10 burpees for every point scored or some shit
Not
like
our
that.
idea.
Yeah, it's hilarious, but whatever gets them to compete and get going for the day. I mean, I just think it's so
Yeah.
funny because they're professional hockey players and they're like, "Hey, let's go play soccer tennis, like this made up sport." And then it got so serious. I like printed out awards and like handed them out and gave a speech at the end of the summer. It was awesome.
They made a group chat and they were making separate group chats. And somehow I was in everyone's group chat. I don't know why I
For what
wasn't.
the teams?
Yeah, for the teams. I don't know why I was in the group chats, but
Yeah.
they were like,
Soccer tennis Olympics at Velo.
we already were doing basically Team Canada.
Yeah, it was the what's it? The
Monstars
Monstars versus Space Jams.
Okay.
So the awards
There
had
we
the
go.
logo, and then they had like their
Ju-
picture from like juniors.
So fun. But yeah,
Nice.
like I think those the pro guys, their like coordination is so much higher. And then if I think we gave it one day to the college kids or junior kids, and it was terrible.
It's like, all right, we broke a
Mm.
light, broke a window.
Broke a
All
fan.
right, we're done. We're done.
We're done. We are not playing games. Everyone's like, why don't we play more games? I'm like, this is why we don't play more games with you guys because you'll break stuff.
Yeah.
But
No,
I'd say
I
like
think
90. My bad.
well,
I'd say like
go ahead.
90% of those college guys specialized early
yeah,
versus like the pros. I know one of them's like, yeah, I just stopped playing soccer in the off season. Like he had an off season soccer league, and it's like that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I feel like you have kind of like two different athlete bases. You can look at, some people like Tiger Woods or Venus and Serena that, specialize from an early age. But then you have other, players with Patrick Mahomes, who's a three-sport athlete all the way through high school. And, I think it kind of comes down to whatever tolerance your body can handle. And, I noticed that moving down to Florida, obviously, since it's warmer all year round, baseball season is pretty much all year. Like they start their spring like in January and their fall ball tournaments don't end until like December. And the gym that I was last working at, as soon as I got there, we had about like 3 or 4 middle school players that were having Tommy John surgery, like their UCLs are cooked. And I'm like, that's just like absolutely ridiculous that your 12-year-old son, like that should be a sign to you that you might want him to take an off season and stop throwing. But then obviously, you've got some other guys that can play, the year-round schedules and they're going to the AAU tournaments and they're dominating. And so it's kind of seems like you got two different athlete bases, one that can handle the same kind of load, same activities all year round, and then you have other ones that benefit more from the different patterns, different coordination.
Yeah, I think just to your point about baseball, like with baseball guys, I think it's like nowadays with Tommy John, they're kind of like, well, yeah, that happens to everybody. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's become such like
Yeah.
it's like nonchalant. It's like, yeah, I had to get it eventually. And it's like, no, no, you didn't,
Yeah.
dude. You destroyed your elbow. And it's like, yeah, well, I'm gonna add like 2 miles per hour to my velo in 2 years because it'll be stronger.
Oh, I think it's the same thing with like hip labor in hockey now.
Yeah,
Like kids are getting hip labor surgery at like 14, 15. I'm like, why are you getting this surgery already? Like it's just some of the pro guys we have just had it. And they're like
Yeah.
32, 33.
Yeah, I had it
Oh,
at 18.
yeah.
but to your point from down in Florida, like I played my high school ball down there, and our off season started like Thanksgiving break. That was just weight room. And then outside of that, like we were encouraged or more like required to do spring sports. Like I was a linebacker, not a
Mm.
track body. Guess what I had to do? Track practice. We did not. You're going to practice with the track team. You're not going to compete. And then afterwards, you're going to come and lift weights. And that was like the
Nice.
standard. And then our linemen had to wrestle or they had to throw. Um, so, I mean, the athletic development for our team in high school was like actually insane to see. So
Yeah, but like even just thinking about like all the high school and youth kids we have, like all our fast kids,
yeah,
they're all multi-sport. Like
Hmm.
the girl we just had in
has wheels.
has absolute wheels, and she does softball, hockey. Last year she did track as well on top of hockey and softball. This year she's not doing track. Definitely should do track, but she won't, and she runs faster than Brian, both of us. She didn't beat you the other day.
Yeah, beat you.
She did beat me the other
So
day.
saying faster than Brian's a little crazy, but
Well, at
so
the rate she's going, and
yeah, no, she will be faster than me,
yes,
100%.
yes.
I mean, she just dropped the
It's
one
moving.
two eight 5+10, and like looked like she was jogging, and she was like, "How bad was that?" I was like, "You just PR'd."
I
How old is
did.
she? This is a high school age girl?
She's 14.
14, not even in.
14.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's moving. She should probably stick with track.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But she won't. She got called up to varsity softball as a seventh grader just to steal bases in the state tournament.
Yeah, make checks out. I think that makes sense for her.
It's like, what?
It's like, all right, I think that's good.
Yeah, that's good,
Yeah.
coach.
How do you guys think that you can blend the early specialization with general training?
They do their on ice stuff. We just lift weights and sprint and jump.
Yeah, I mean, at our other facility where, I mean, I literally have like probably half of our turf space that we have here, and it's literally just a room. It's just that turf space.
It's 12 yards.
Yeah, like 12 yards of turf space. I got two lines, and I'm like, hey, we're gonna cartwheel, forward roll, backward roll, skip backwards. We're gonna jump and click our heels together. And I always get asked by the kids, how is this helping me with hockey? I'm like, well, it's hard for you to do, right? You can't do it. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, so we should probably train it. I'm like, how do you think I can do all these things? I mean, I just like went and ran around and jumped around. My mom was a cheer coach, so after football, I'd just go and have to sit there for cheer practice. I have two brothers, so we're all within 2 years of each other, and we're over on the tumble track, just sending flips, whatever it might be, um, tossing each other off the trampoline, whatever it is. So yeah, like that was my general exposure, and now I'm just telling them like, guys, you have to learn how to move your body. Like it correlates directly to your on ice performance.
You got a thought on that, Welty? Look like you were thinking of something.
Yeah, I guess like just I'd say the last month or so, there's been a few guys that have been on ice and talking with even like a couple of our skating coaches, like how because one of our skating coaches like a Pee Wee team, and how he just says like they're so bad at like moving, and like
Mm.
when we have them in the weight room, they're just so uncoordinated. And then like there's one kid that's coordinated, but it's how would you describe him?
Oh,
Yeah,
the little kid that
yeah,
just runs everywhere.
yeah, runs everywhere.
He's like the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what he's like.
really
He's
good
like
mover.
he's like
Just
cracked on sugar and just he just I don't know. He doesn't pay great attention, but when you ask him to like
do
do a
something.
crab walk, it's like a crab sprint.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty cool to see.
But like all the other kids, like you clearly only play hockey. It's the only thing you have ever done. They'll try to toss the football around.
Yeah.
They'll run routes. It's not very pretty, but they'll attempt.
I mean, the best is like 10U girls versus Pee Wee boys. I tell the 10U girls to roll or do a cartwheel. They're like, can we do back handsprings? I'm like, well, yeah, but I couldn't demonstrate that, but you can, yeah. And the boys, I'm like, hey, we got forward roll. They're like, oh, I can't. It hurts my neck. I don't know how. It's like, dude, just
Hmm.
attempt. Like, so I just tell them, hey, until everybody attempts, we're just going to keep doing this exercise over and over.
Like you fall down in your sport, you literally fall down on the ice all the time. This is probably helping you get your body to be aware of where the like fall is happening.
And Dan Fichter always talks about how he has this theory that kids who fall more are faster because they're used to like their center of mass being in front of them, basically the engine being in front, like Corpus talks about.
Did you fall as a kid a lot?
No, I'm not that fast.
But
I
you're better
I
at start.
probably did fall, but
But you're better
not
at
like by
starts.
choice. It's probably like somebody throwing me on the ground.
Okay. I was just curious because you're better at starts.
It's true. So,
So with how do you guys I guess take it when parents come in and they're like, I want hockey specific training for my kid. Is there a conversation to be had with the parents then, or you just kind of, shuffle their kid on in and train them how you want to train them anyway?
I kind of definitely sell them a little bit on it to start, but like I would say when I first got here, yes, I like was yeah, we'll do hockey specific training. Did I do that? Not really, especially if it was like an 11-year-old. I'm like, yeah, I'll say this, but I'm not gonna get. Now that I've been here a while, I would say like the reputation that I have here, like a lot of my private clients I get is word of mouth of like, oh, Nathan does such a good job, Brian does a good job, stuff like that. I explained like, hey, they're a young kid. Our whole goal is to improve their overall long-term athlete development. We're gonna sprint, we're gonna jump, we're gonna do all this stuff, and it will improve their on ice performance, so and so because of this, like body awareness, coordination, all that kind of stuff. So I think a lot of the parents that have at least come to us have kind of seen that development, especially every couple months you say like, hey, so and so has improved 5% on their sprint or 6% on the sprint. Oh yeah, we can really see it on the ice and stuff like that. His speed's a lot better. His first step's great, blah blah blah, and all that stuff. So I think that kind of helps, being a little bit of that salesman of like showing them the results they're getting and they're seeing that on the ice or the kids are talking about it. Right, I feel a lot faster. It feels stronger on the puck. I'm not getting knocked over and stuff like that. But that's my opinion.
yeah, I actually got that like basically this exact question from a parent as far as they watched the session because a lot of the kids I'm coaching at our other location, the coaches are parent coaches right now since they're so young. Um, and basically asked me after watching the session, like, do you guys do like hockey specific training too? And I was just like, all right, I'll explain this very generally, like from a strength and conditioning lens, like keep to not too much to generalize, but basically I would give the same program to a lacrosse player as I would a hockey player, and the only thing that would differentiate it and make it sport specific would be like, all right, hockey, we have a lot of groin injuries, so I'm going to have a little more emphasis on the groin versus lacrosse. Like, if you're a Fogo, all right, we're going to, emphasize wrist strength and forearms. And I think, grip should be emphasized in every program. But basically things like that, like football, we're going to do a lot of neck work because one, you're wearing that heavy ass helmet, and two, you're taking a ton of contacts. So I pretty much explained like that's the main things that are going to differentiate a specific program for me, um, at least at this level. It's just like where the injury emphasis is going to be, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that you got to have that conversation with parents that their kids got to master the basics before they move on. Like these baseball parents down here in Florida are crazy. You got like 7, 8, 9 year olds. They're bringing into the gym and they're like, can we do baseball specific training? It's like bring the kid through the assessment, and it's like, well, he can't do a pull up and tapped out at 5 push ups, so we might want to get a little bit more upper body strength before we have him start throwing weighted balls and swinging weighted bats. Same kind of thing with hockey. I had one parent. She signed up her 7 year old hockey player for hockey specific training, and the kid couldn't even like execute a basic lunge. So it's like we got to get this under wraps before we worry about anything else. But I think that kind of going back to what you guys said earlier about like the social media, and there's just so much stuff out there. For parents or people that aren't involved in like the sports performance world, they're just, kind of drinking through a fire hose. They're seeing all sorts of stuff, whatever's showing up on their Instagram, Facebook feeds, and it might be overly specific stuff. Some of it might be good, some of it might be bad, but in their mind, they have a hockey or baseball player, and that's the kind of training that they think that they need.
Mhm.
But what are the three most important qualities that you guys kind of emphasize when training youth athletes?
Um, I mean, rhythm, coordination, and timing. Obviously, all those go hand in hand. Welty's definitely going to say speed,
Like it just all goes hand in
but
hand.
yeah, I mean, if you're fast, you're probably able to have good timing, coordination, and rhythm. I mean, that's what
Yeah,
sprinting is about. So,
I'm
um, but
gonna
yeah,
add one onto this. I'm gonna add processing speed.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I try and incorporate that with all the color stuff.
Mhm.
As far as like having athletes running to say, let's say three colored cones, and then I'm going to call out green, and you got to go around the green cone and then race back. So having to like sit there, decide, and orient yourself, and then act.
And I think like the processing speed can come from playing multiple sports just because you're exposed to so many different variables, right? Um, which then that helps with the coordination aspect, the timing, and the rhythm. But I definitely think, and you've seen it, I think now lately, Brian, with a lot of the kids up at Osseo or other location, is the kids that are good at hockey and just probably better at their in general, better athletes, probably can scan and see things a lot better and a lot quicker, right? They don't um, they don't make as many mistakes. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And I'd say just one thing I listened to a Joel Smith podcast that was talking about backwards running and like all these benefits. But lately I've just been on this like binge of, hey, we're gonna skip backwards today. And like it is so hard for people and I just think it's so funny. But I guarantee you if you have all your kids skip backwards and you pick out the best one, he's probably your fastest sprinter.
yeah, that's a good point.
that's one faster
Yeah,
defense. Skip
No, you
backwards
you
can
better.
run
guys,
better.
you guys think that there's a correlation between the mental processing speed and I guess physical speed. So like for an example, when me and my friends were in college and we used to, play Call of Duty together, all of us who were the faster athletes, we had better kill death ratios playing Call of Duty.
I'm I'm gonna say no for myself because of my friend group growing up. Actually I was not the fastest kid in my friend group. Oh, between me and my best friend, between between me and
But
my
were
best
you the
friend.
best at Call of Duty?
No, I was terrible at Call of Duty. I was terrible. I hated Call of
See, it sounds like a correlation to me.
Yeah, I'd say
The other two friends that
um
made the state track.
well shit. Yeah, I guess speed wasn't really my thing ever, playing Mike linebacker. But um, for me, I'd say no, just because I was absolute cheeks at Call of Duty.
I'm so
But the
bad.
reason I always was on the football field was because I could process everything and like look at the formation and be like, hey, this is coming,
Hmm.
or like, hey, we got to check and move to this alignment, this coverage, whatever it might be. Um, which I think like it comes with that position is like
Mhm.
you're the commander of the defense, you're the quarterback, so you have to have that processing. Otherwise, it's just not going to go well. But
Yeah.
yeah, I sucked at COD.
It was terrible.
My brother was a grinder though. He's nasty. Now he's TPD. So hopefully,
You know when you play COD and you play zombies on COD, I was always the person of my friend group to die right away, and they had to save me all the time
Hmm.
just to
You're
make
the
it to
one
another
ruining the
level.
rounds.
Yep, to make it through the rounds, I was always the first one down. It's all right.
Tough.
I sacrificed myself to help get the next round though.
See, I need to get a bigger sample size because I've only done it on four people, myself, my brother, my cousin, and one of my friends. All four of us had multiplayer kill death ratios over 1.0, and all four of us had we were able to get under 200 milliseconds in ground contact time.
You know
And
what?
when I tried on a shoot, I forgot the brand. It might have been a gym aware, just a sensor that sensed ground contact time on a like a depth jump.
Mhm.
But need to get a bigger sample size on that. But I might be onto something with
You
Call of Duty. Um,
gotta be better at COD now.
Yeah, we were messing around with depth jumps the other day, just trying to do. We were going fastest contact time. Then we are like, all right, uh, pick a number, 13 inches. All right, go. And then just saying if we could still keep it under 250.
What was the lowest we got?
Nice.
I don't know.
Brooke did not beat me, by the way.
I know.
Brooke did
It's
not
okay.
beat me. Told you she ain't beating me on
Well, he
contact.
almost got beat by a high school girl. It's okay.
No, she's an eighth grader.
That's even.
She didn't beat me in jump height. That's for
Is
sure.
it is it the fast one, the one
Oh,
that's
that's her
also
cousin.
fast?
That's her cousin.
They're related.
They're related.
Makes sense then. Yeah, good
Oh, they're
genes.
not fast.
Mm.
Oh,
No, not at all.
Last question I got for you fellas is what is the most underlooked or underutilized modality or philosophy, any aspect of strength and conditioning?
God.
That's a hard question.
I was thinking about this before too.
I didn't think about this one at all. I had an answer and I forgot it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, ISOs are making a comeback. That's good.
Mhm.
That's definitely good. So I won't go with the isometric train
Why
because
not? We did it for
no, I
4
feel
months
like it's
straight.
very popular right now. Everybody's saying isometrics, which good, good, good. I'm glad that it's getting out there. I love ISOs, but I'd say
Did you do your
catching
ISO
or
today?
throwing barbells.
Okay.
Yeah, I had never hit 315 bench, and I had been stuck at 300 for probably like 5 years, even through college football, college S&C. Came here, started dropping barbells and chucking barbells, and my bench absolutely blew up. I got to what 350 in I don't know 16 months.
I don't know. You hit 350. Just you.
Well,
You failed. You failed.
the first summer I was here, I went from 300 to 330 in 3 months, and then it was like another wall, and then just go back down the train and keep building.
Yeah, I'm not there at
Solid.
350. Just let everyone know.
But I think
Okay.
one thing, because I went back to Springfield after my internship here, and I'm like, yeah, guys, this is what's up. This is what we should do. We should load the bench and we should drop the bar. And it's like, what are you
And catch
talking?
it.
What are you
And catch
talking?
it.
Yeah, catch it is important. Um, yeah, everybody's like, what are you talking about? That's too dangerous. I can't have my athletes do it. So I think there's like definitely a fear component, but that's part of the training is like your body is subconsciously fearing you falling on your face when you're sprinting. So it's something you should probably train. Same thing with falling like depth drops. Your body's subconsciously scared of a height once you get past comfortable, and you're literally training that fear complex.
Hmm.
Yeah. Excellent choices there. I agree with you on the ISOs and drop catches are pretty underutilized as well.
For me, a modality I'm not gonna say is underutilized, but something I've been thinking about lately is like, I guess like to the rhythm and coordination piece of everything.
2-1 centuries.
No, not too. No, no, no. We haven't been doing those that
All
much.
right, all right, go.
I'm gonna go towards the dancing.
Yes,
Yes, I think that's
yes,
a very underutilized one. Rhythm and just extensive plyos,
yeah.
or just beats of music. We could go with that.
Dude, that was warm up today. I was just bouncing to the beat.
I saw
Literally,
that.
like bounce one foot, two hops, bounce the other foot, two hops, bounce the other foot, two hops,
Or
and just
or like
going to the
match
beat.
the beat.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
This summer we had when guys are in speed phase,
oh yeah.
we made them match the beat
So
during the movement.
we have like 180 BPM plus playlists that we speed days. Hey, that's what we're playing.
Capacity Friday, every Friday.
Ripping
What
some
we do-
impulses.
We don't have our
RTM. We were
guys.
doing RTM, and we're like, you
Oh,
have to
okay.
match.
Yeah, we haven't had our athletes do impulses yet. We only have two setups, but we went through.
A lot of bands.
Well, I was gonna say with the impulses, we went through a long 3 months.
We only did 60 BPMs with that.
We tried the 100.
Yeah, we did try the 100.
100 BPMs felt pretty wicked. I think we did
Yeah, that's
120.
probably pretty quick.
We tried 120. It was way too fast.
Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah. But no, it was, I think, like definitely the music. Now that I think about from like the dancing side of thing, I think that's a really like to get an athlete to like understand to like move fast. And I think like just music as a whole can trigger that like dopamine to like prime example, me, Brian, what song do I play every single time?
No broke boys.
No,
Dun,
but
dun, 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 dun.
it's
Instant PR. Every single, unless it's a bench press, but every other
movement.
testable movement, could be single leg vert. Welty will PR as long as you play no broke boys
I will PR on the day.
on the day.
On the day, I will hit a PR. If
Fair
I'm
enough.
like,
Hey,
for example, shout out to Austin Yoakum. I beat him in a jump off competition. I just had to play no rope boys. And what happened? I won the competition.
Make sure you
mm,
open the like. This is the covers. I beat Austin Yoakum.
so no
Yes.
broke boys.
But yeah,
Yeah.
like, and I think that's lately I've just like been thinking about that. Just one because we've been listening to so much like dubstep and mixes. Like I just think how much in just music as a whole plays into like the training aspect. Like I don't
Mhm.
really care what song is playing so much as long as like the beat in the background. Like I don't even care about lyrics as much anymore. It's more of like the beat behind it. Do I like it? Is it matching the vibe that I need?
Yeah.
And to that point, when we were doing long duration isometrics and impulses and a ton of drops, with the metronome, I have a post like on my page talking about this, but your body basically like syncs up the contractions. Like you
Mm-hmm.
naturally pattern match. Victor will talk about it. Like if he puts on some music, you'll see people in the room. If you just start looking around, they're tapping their foot to the rhythm or like moving their pencil to the rhythm, whatever it might be. So like it's a thing that we subconsciously do.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
The body loves rhythm.
what was
Yeah.
that?
The body loves rhythm.
Mm. Yeah, it's crazy. I remember when we had 60 BPMs playing and it was Mike and was in, he started like dribbling the ball.
Yeah, like subconsciously dribbling to the beat.
Yeah, he was talking to us and
Yeah.
just starts dribbling the tennis ball to the beat. I'm like, right. But yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. That's wild. Uh, that's all the questions I got for you fellas. Appreciate y'all's time. Y'all got any podcast books, Instagrams y'all want to plug in the end of this?
Uh, podcast book,
Yeah.
Instagrams. I'm Coach Saz on Instagram. This is Nathan.Welty on Instagram.
Yeah.
Besides that, podcast, Austin Yoakum's.
Velocity Hockey Center, by the way.
Shout out
What's
Velocity Hockey Center.
Yeah, yeah.
Edina.
Tim Riley's pod, and Just Fly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the Gap. I gotta shout out the boys at the Gap. Oh my God, Brett would kill me.
I don't think Pods. What's Pods I've been listening to? Austin's, yeah. Tim's,
Those are like my five
yeah.
for strength and conditioning.
Joel's, yeah. I'm trying to think. Just is there any random ones that I've just been listening? Let me look real quick. Let me pull up. See what we got.
Y'all
Got a
listen to
lot. I've
any of
listened.
the Speed Lab with Les Spellman?
No, I haven't.
No, I have a little bit, and I've heard Les talk a lot. So,
It just says,
oh, Move the Needle. I do like
oh
Move the
yeah.
Needle with
Oh,
Hunter.
okay,
That's
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah. I feel like I've heard of that one. Nice.
um.
Why does it only say no broke boys on repeat?
It's the
um
only thing in the playlist synced up to different beats. You got the 60 BPM, the 120.
I tried finding that
Boy.
actually, like to slower beats.
Why do you have all those metronomes and just no broke boys?
Let's see here.
We calculated how many minutes
Oh
we
my
listened to
god,
the metronome. It was like, I don't
it
know.
was some stupid.
It was in the thousands. It was
I think
insane.
it was like 8,000
Yeah, it
minutes.
was like something
Good
crazy.
God, it's a lot of
Everyone's like,
metronome.
oh, the owner,
Oh yeah,
the owner got
we
so
got
mad at
banned.
us.
We got banned from playing it in the weight room when the owner was here. That's how many times we played 60 BPM metronome. The
It's like
electronic one,
Chinese water torture to him.
yeah, I don't like the block sound. I like the electronic beep
Mm.
beep. I don't know
See,
why.
but when I would do it by myself,
You got no other pods, huh?
yeah, I can. They're all like golf podcasts and Barstool and stuff like that. You got your listeners don't want to listen to that unless you're into golf.
Fair enough.
Then,
Okay.
but
Multi-sport athlete.
I'm telling you, just get us a golf simulator. We'd be dialed. But
Yeah, might
no,
as well. Hey, well, I appreciate it, boys. I'll let y'all get out of there for the night.
Yes, sir. I'll have to hit you when I'm down there in Tampa.
Yeah, let me know. We can come we can get a workout down in IMG.
I'll bet.
You know, you done for the night now?
Yeah, I'm done for the night. About to go inside, eat some dinner, do it all over again tomorrow. Living the dream.
How long have you been at IMG?
This is my second week.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So you wouldn't know the staff before, because the St. Thomas staff, like half of them came from IMG. I want to say
Yeah. 2 years.
2 years ago.
Oh, okay. I do know the guy that had your job before you, Welty, Dan, what's his last
Yeah, I
name?
know
Is it
him.
Mines?
Mine's
Yeah. Me and him work we work golf and track together down at IMG.
you know Bryce Murphy. Is he still there?
No, does not ring a bell.
I don't remember if he was still there. Yeah, yeah. Dan talked to me about. Dan called me about you
Oh, really? Nice.
before you when you were like applying and stuff.
Oh, okay. Did you tell him I
You
broke
like
a kid's nose
you
playing
said your real.
handball?
You originally said your real name, like Corey. I'm like, who's Corey? Like Rodriguez. Who is that? I'm like, yeah, no, I don't know him. And then he's like, oh, but Flash is his name. Oh yeah, yeah, I don't remember. Okay, because your name in my phone is Flash. That's all it is.
Yeah,
Just
it's my alter
Just
ego.
Flash.
That's pretty much what I go by. It's like Prince, just Flash.
But yeah, I'll come visit you
All
guys
right, fellas.
sometime.
Well, we'll have to do it again sometime. I appreciate it.
Yep.
sir.
See ya.
All right, later, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.